Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage of the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mach-1 Performance Cup Series presented by Full Throttle Television. My name is Bertie Hanna. Alongside me is Tony Solari, and we join you from Talladega Super Speedway. Looking forward to some Super Speedway racing action tonight, Tony. It's going to be an exciting one. It always is here at Talladega. You could end up with the big crashes, or you could end up with the snooze fest. And you know, the drivers don't mind the snooze fest, but we'd love to see some racing action.
Yeah, it's always a fickle beast, Talladega and Daytona. You know, these restrictor plate races, you don't really know how they're going to go, and sometimes they're very eventful, and sometimes, yeah, they're just kind of strung out. We don't have a huge field tonight, so I don't know. I'm not really sure what we're going to see tonight, but you know, they're always fun regardless, and you know, maybe these guys will put on a nice show for us.
I was going to say, these guys always seem to put on a really good show. See some of the guys actually practicing some pitting. Not a bad idea here as well for some green flag pit stops, but these guys always put on a show and always are usually pretty clean. We saw last week we had a great race. I think we only had a few cautions, and very exciting one. All the drivers seem to have a lot of fun at Auto Club. This is a far cry from Auto Club, although Nathan Biggert comes in here with another win on his tally. 5 wins total this season.
Yeah, Nate's another one you got to watch out for as usual. He's been really racking up the wins as of late, and you know, he's a good driver. And you know, although this is Talladega, you know, it don't matter where you're starting to. I mean, you know, the last place guy, just as long as you stay clean, you know, could be anybody's game tonight. And we'll see. I know the truck race was a little bit, I don't know if you'd want to say boring, but it was more or less, it was a little hard to pass. I mean, I know we got a little different package with the trucks, but you know, these cup cars, we ran these a few before, and you know, I think a lot of the guys know what they're up against and know what to you know, expect with the cars. So yeah, like I say, I hope we're going to see some spiciness. Not too spicy, though. I know a lot of the field doesn't want to see it where it gets too nasty.
Well, you talked about riding in the back, and that's one of the strategies I like to employ. But the issue tonight is going to be we got a stage break. You know, we get these stages now. It's kind of changed the game as far as riding around in the back. Stage at lap 25. Now, from that point forward, they can go on one more green flag stop if we get another green flag stop. But racing to 25, I just, you know, stage racing's really changed the super speedway racing mentality for some people, for me included.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we've definitely been able to not necessarily manipulate the system, but at least you kind of, you know, there's a little bit of gamemanship that goes on, like when do you pit and how many cars do you go to and pit with? Because, you know, obviously, you know, draft being a huge factor at a place like this. So, yeah, you got to make sure that, you know, you got all your ducks in a row, and you got your teammate, you got the guys you want to work with. And, you know, like I say, it doesn't matter where you start. It just matters where you finish. And, you know, you got to be there at the end.
Yeah, as we roll over to qualifying, these guys are going to take 2 laps here. And there's two varying strategies in qualifying here, too, as well. Some of them will try to go fast on the second lap. Some of them try to knock it out on the first lap when your tires are cooler. We'll see if we can ride along with some of these guys and see what they're doing. And we'll just see Jeff Chandler roll out. Who do you have your eye on for qualifying here? I know Kyle Milliken was one guy I wanted to watch because he snuck up on us and kind of got the pole and dominated that truck race. Really good at these super speedways. We'll watch him take a lap. But who do you kind of have your eye on tonight?
Well, I was going to say Kyle just because of his performance on Wednesday, but you know, if I got to pick somebody else, I don't know. I might go with the Nathan. Let's see what he can do out there. But you know, as far as Q goes, you just I don't know. Some people actually have a good Q strategy, and I've never quite figured it out. You know, you just stomp on the throttle, you know, keep as close to the line as possible. And, you know, hopefully you got a car that's got enough speed and, you know, move that wheel as very, very minute as possible and just keep that thing driving forward. But it's a crapshoot, really.
I think smoothness is the key, especially on these qualifying laps. So we're right on board with the 42 of Kyle Malcolm. We'll ride along for his lap here. Coming to the line, you want to be as smooth as possible. Like you said, minimize the wheel input and keep those wheels moving forward instead of scrubbing speed off the side to side. As he goes into turn 1, looks like he's going to go for lap 1 right on the line through 1 and 2. So he's opting for a lap one run here.
Yeah, and that's kind of a lot of guys they'll run that first lap a little bit wide too in the corners, kind of build up the momentum to the car, and then when the money lap comes, they're right on that line and just trying to stay as low as possible and just obviously move that wheel as minimal as possible, keep the thing as straight, stay off the. You want to basically stay on that line, but you don't want to barely dip below that line because that just upsets the car, and you scrub even just the tiniest amount of speed, and you're mid pack. And that's definitely someplace you don't want to be in Q. Most of the guys either want to be right up front or they want to be in the back, and unfortunately, the rest of the field's in the middle. So,
where's lap 1, and he goes to the top of the board to start off, and yeah, again, like I said, he's going to stay in it for a lap 2 here, but you don't want to. Of course, you don't want to dip below that line. But one thing I saw too is he stayed on the track, did not opt to use that apron through the travel. Some guys do that. And staying low through the travel, but you kind of want down the backstretch. A lot of people tell me you kind of want to let the car kind of have its way to a certain extent, and kind of keep the wheel free as he backs out on lap 2.
Yeah, like I said, I've never quite mastered it, and I've tried, let the car just do what it wants, and without letting it get too far off a line. But then, somehow, some way, it just never seems to pan out for me, and. And as far as running down on the apron, there again too, sometimes it upsets the car too much. I don't know if you really gain a little bit or not. And like you say, I've never really put too much strength though into the queue, especially around here. It's just it's really just survival, and just keep the car in front of you, and just stay out of trouble.
Yeah, Wayne Grassi moved up to second momentarily. We had some guys kind of jump him there, and we'll get to that in a minute. Like Sherwood Williford put up a pretty nice lap there. Jeff Chandler, Richie Coy, all up there running that second lap. Looks like the second lap was the king so far, is what it's looking like.
Yeah, and I'm kind of surprised with Kyle not running that second lap because, we kind of figured he was going to, show up again, maybe go for a back-to-back pole here, especially after what he did on Wednesday. But, hey, he's still sitting in fourth right now, so it's not so bad for him.
Looks like Sherwood's going to abandon his second lap. Doesn't need to run a second lap. Looks like his first lap was the lap of time. So getting it done on lap 1. Sherwood Williford, some fast stuff there. Him and Wayne Grassi and TJ Bartell all working together, separate teams but kind of working together. And looks like whatever they got, it's pretty quick with him and Wayne up there.
Yeah, and all three of them are really decent plate track racers, and obviously Sherwood's got that thing dialed in tonight. He had a nice, good lap. Although I've known Sherwood for a long time and raced with him for many, many years, and he's always been dangerous, especially in a Q situation over here at Dega.
Let's look at our race info tonight. Again, Talladega Superspeedway, 2.5 miles, full throttle around here. A little warm, 86 degrees, and partly cloudy, a lot of sun, so it's not much to look at as far as the track goes. It's going to be hot and heavy on the track there. Let's go ahead and see if we can get into our starting lineup. And starting on pole, in the number 1, taking position number 1, it's going to be Sherwood Williford. To the outside on row 1, it's going to be 19 of Richie Coy. Starting in third position is going to be the 31 of Jeff Chandler. And starting to his outside is going to be the Truck Series winner here just Wednesday, the 42 of Kyle Milliken. Starting in fifth is going to be the 7 of Wayne Grassi, that Pennzoil Chevrolet. To the outside of him is going to be the 10 of Colton Gum. Starting 7th is going to be the 36, Dave Nestor. To the outside of him is going to be Nathan Biggert in the 01. The 54 of Alan Kroll will start in 9th position, and rounding out your top 10 is going to be the 57 of Joshua Johnson.
And then starting 11th, we have the number 47th of Brian Hendrick, and he's the last car actually to take time. Then starting in 12th, we've got Jamie Knopp. 13th, Daniel Simmons. 14th, James Wallace. 15th, Brian Dublé. 16th, number 35 of Ben Tracy. Where are we at? 16th, Nick Dugan. He's one of our newer members. And then 17th, we have James Torrey. 18th, Michael Blackner. And then the final field filler is Justin Dills in the number 91.
All right, we got 20 cars out there tonight looking to put on a show, and we are looking forward to it. Should be a
Yeah,
good one.
this is one of those races I would love to be in there and participate in too. But sometimes it's kind of fun to watch these and just see how they play out. See, maybe you can learn something too for the next time you actually do want to get in the car.
Hey, Tony, there's one thing for sure. Well, I would say from up here, we don't have to worry about anybody being upset at us or being upset at anybody up here. Just watching alone, but I guess if we start talking about somebody, we could maybe upset them.
That's true. Yeah. So this is definitely the least stressful position to be in one of these races. But there's some part of my sadistic mind that just kind of likes the fun and challenge of these as well.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I mean, Talladega can be a lot of fun with a good group of guys. I expect a lot of green flag racing tonight. That's what you want on a super speedway in a league. And these guys do a great job of providing that week in, week out. And that's why we have them come back every week. Everybody seems to enjoy it. Speaking of enjoyment, you want to check out one of our sponsors, Victory Fuel. You got to check them out, man. You got to try them. I know every week I talk about them. You've got to try it and tell us about it. Tell us how much you like it. Go to drinkvictory.com. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. And you can try out one of their 3 flavors. They got Throttle Punch, they got Lucky Lemon, and they got Purple Potion. So I still haven't tried that Purple Potion, but when I do, I'm going to tell you what it's like, because I look forward to being able to try that. I want to try it out, and we'll see how it goes. But check them out, drinkvictory.com, FTSR for your code, 10% off. Do it. You'll thank me later.
Yeah, and I'm just watching our chat too. If you guys want to make a comment, we got Doyle in the chat right now, and good evening, Doyle. And he's rooting on the FTSR crew, which is everybody on track, and he's obviously rooting for Jeff Chandler and Richie Coy of Fury. Oh, and Michael Blackner as well.
Yeah, Doyle, enjoy the sit back, pop a cold one, enjoy the race. We are going to do the same as well as I come through the travel, waiting for the green flag to come out. Now they're in the restart zone. Green flag's out, and we are underway here at Talladega Superspeedway.
Yeah, for those that don't know, Dega has a little bit different restart. That's one of the main differences between this track and Daytona, not to mention it being almost an extra lane wide. But that late restart zone and start-finish line always kind of makes those end runs to the final lap just a little bit more exciting.
I also want to take a second to thank you, Tony, for coming and joining us this week. Glad you're feeling better after your bout with,
Yeah, you know the thing.
Yeah, exactly. So good to have you back here. We're down the back stretching. And, man, Richie Coy got a good jump on the outside. Took the lead, but now the 42. Kyle Milliken being pushed by teammate Colton Gum, looking to take the lead on lap 1. This would come out of turn 4.
Yeah, he jumped. They kind of swapped spots really quick there, right off the gun, and it's one of those things too. Usually, if it's a green flag without a caution flag that that's coming, you'd always want to kind of stay on the inside line. That way, when pit stops happen, at least you want to get your car ready to go. But with the stage coming, it's really just get wherever you want to go and just get out there and just run some laps and just kind of ride it out.
It's a good time to kind of see what your car is going to do. So you see them snake down the backstretch, 2 distinct lines, high line, low line. Kyle Milliken, by the way, did lead that first lap, so he'll be the first lap scored coming through 3 and 4. Now they're side by side for the lead, 2 by 2, all the way through the field. Looks like a parade lap, Tony.
Oh, yeah. I know. They are just, they really haven't moved around too much, but it looks like that inside line's starting to grab a little bit. Sherwood's starting to lean a little bit on Richie's rear end to kind of push him out there in front.
Yeah, to give you guys an idea, you got Milliken, Gum, and Biggert on the outside line. On the inside is Richie Coy, leading Sherwood Wilford and Jeff Chandler on that inside line. Your top 3 on both lanes, and all in one group still. So nobody's going anywhere, and everybody's just kind of hanging out, seeing what they can do.
Yeah, and I'm just kind of looking towards the back of the field, too. There's really not too much movers and shakers going on around there. I think everybody, and it's always the wise thing to do, too. Just kind of ride around. Let the car come to you, like we just said, and just kind of feel it out. And if something happens, at least give yourself an escape route if you need it. But I think with the small field and whatnot, I think we're going to see a lot of cooler heads prevailing tonight, and just a lot of smart moves out there.
I'll tell you, you got two elevated guys there on the outside, elevated esports, and they were pretty dominant there in the truck race. Led almost every lap in that event. And here again, you see this guy's working hard on the outside. I know Kyle Milliken too. He puts a lot of work into these super speedway races, and it really shows. Always qualifies up front, always runs up front. And here he is yet again, leading in the Cup race after winning the truck race.
Yeah, and I don't think Colton's actually. It looks like they are glued together. To be quite honest with you, they have not gained or lost any time on each other. And as I say that, I'm watching Sherwood finally kind of tuck up to Richie Coy, and he's starting to make a move now.
That's a good run.
Yeah, I mean, and that's kind of what you need. You kind of gotta the back car's got to be the pusher, and the lead car just needs to stay as straight as possible. But it's not easy to do, especially when these cars move around a little bit and you really don't know what they're going to do. But as far as these cars go, their super speedway package is probably the best version of this car. But they don't work great everywhere else. But out here, they don't do so bad.
Yeah, you can really lean on somebody and push them pretty good too. And we've seen how durable these cars are as well. So, an accident's not necessarily the end of the world, especially the super speedways.
Right. For sure. And I mean, and I'm looking at Richie and Sherwood right now, and it even looks like Jeff Chandler's almost going to be, he might be able to clear that outside. Now, we're going to see anybody maybe kind of take that air away from Kyle. I don't know. Again, it's pretty early to even make a move, but you never know. Somebody's going to be eventually getting up there.
That's what I was going to see if anybody was going to jump up there. Would they want to try to lead that outside lane? I know Wayne would probably take the opportunity. I'm not sure Sherwood and Chandler would at this point, but I could be wrong as well. And that's one thing too with these guys back here in the back. You see all this going on in the front. When you're riding in the back and they're 2x2 and there's really nowhere to go. You personally, Tony, how anxious do you get back there thinking, okay, I need to make some moves. I need to make something happen because, there's really nowhere to go. I mean, I guess you could go up through the middle, but there's no moves to really be made when you stay 2x2 the whole way.
Right, and it gets kind of boring, and I'll be honest, my take on always these plate tracks were just to stay in line, and you finish where you finish, and especially early on, I was never really concerned about it. Just it's more or less keeping the car clean. Obviously, you don't want to lose draft. That was always the main focus when you're running the back. You just want to make sure you're staying with the big pack. You don't want to lose. You don't want to be caught a lap down or get caught trying to catch up. But yeah, I'm looking at Michael Blackner right now. Even though he's kind of in the tail end of the field, he's still in good shape, and you just definitely don't want to lose the draft. And some guys are content running back there, especially too when you don't need the stage points, and you're more or less worried. You just want to get the car home and at least bring it to the end. And maybe by any chance you're in the top 5 with a couple laps to go, you might have a shot at it.
The other concern back there is the checkups, especially going into turn 3, we see it all the time. There's a big checkup, especially on the bottom. It seems like if people don't give enough space, there's some checkups that happen. You got to kind of avoid those, and that can also slow down the inside line. That's some of the variables we see here. And it looks like right now the outside line's the place to be. It looks like with the speed they're carrying.
Yeah, and I'm looking too. The inside line definitely has a lot more cars, but they don't look to be as organized and tight together to kind of keep that line moving. But yeah, that outside line does seem like it's going. Actually, I'm reading some comments by Doyle here too. He said the high line was pretty dominant in the Coke Series. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, so far it's proven to be true. But as I say that, I'm looking at that inside line, and they're going up.
They love to disprove us sometimes. And I was going to say that in the backstretch too. It's like they're giving each other plenty of space, way up high and way down low, and here they are in the middle now. So. They
and then there's a bit of the side draft, and two, I don't know with the amount of car counts we got. I mean, I could see maybe towards the end we're gonna start seeing maybe some 3-wide action. That is the one cool part about Talladega, where you can successfully get a 3-wide group going, and try to make a third row happen. And as I'm saying that, I'm looking at a couple guys maybe sticking their nose out for a third lane.
Yeah, I saw that back there. I think it was Jamie Knopf, but I think he was actually going to the back, it looks like, or at least that's where he is now. He's very back of the pack, and that's another thing, too. If you're at the very tail end of either one of these lines, you've got to be a little worried because we've seen before that you can lose the draft really easy here if you're not careful.
Yeah, if you lose too much momentum, and that could be one of the things though too. You want to go for that third lane, and you start to make the third lane, but if you don't have any friends with you or anybody to go with you, you are going to the back whether you plan to or not.
Yeah, yeah, you don't want to. If you're not planning to go back there, you usually don't want to go back there. Some of the guys, you see the 10 getting a little shaky behind the 42 there. It's going to cost them some momentum. Here comes that inside lane. First two now, first three looks like they're going to. Well, as I say that, here comes the 42 back outside. So it's just, you kind of ping pong here. If you're on the outside lane, you get a run, you pull up even, you lose some momentum, drop back, and it kind of goes out and back, and you just got to time that just right. Coming to the stage again with about 15 to go to the stage.
Yeah, well, the 10 of Colton, he's been riding Kyle for the last 10 laps. So, he's just trying to keep it right there. And that in itself is hard to do, just to stay on his bumper, keep that, he's got to be white knuckling it. Cause obviously, you don't want to push him too hard, but you don't want to, bunch up the cars behind you either. So, he's probably got the hardest job right now out there, just trying to maintain that line, maintain that spacing, and, try to keep his car, his buddy in front of him, moving forward.
You got the Boomerang guys back here. Joshua Johnson leading them with James Wallace and Ryan Hedrick behind him. I thought Joshua was looking to the outside there, but he decided otherwise. He's been kind of peeking to the outside. Wouldn't surprise me them to duck out to try to make a 3-wide move.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. And now is obviously too early to do it. But it's definitely one of those things where, maybe towards the stage, we might see some of these guys try it. Just to, if nothing else, that's where you want to kind of test it, see if you gets you anywhere.
Well, I don't know. That's what I was going to say. Is it too early, or is it now is a good time to try it and test it and find out something for the stage? If it doesn't work out now, you may be able to recover when the stage break comes. Of course, some of these guys also.
It's true, too.
We haven't mentioned much, but they may be points racing, too. Some of these guys looking to get into the playoffs. May just want to, get some good points and may affect, it was close to the wall, may affect what some of these guys do.
Yeah, very true, too. With a lot of guys, I know some guys are trying to, just point their way in. And, again, too, it's early. We got 94 laps total. And, if it were me out there, I would definitely not be pushing it one way or another. I'm usually the guy that doesn't like to go 3 wide as it is, just because, the reward isn't as great as the risk. Sometimes, maybe at the last lap it's worth it, but during the race, you're better off just staying where you're at.
Sherwood Williford tucked right up behind the 19 of Richie Coy. But the top 3 on the outside were right on top of each other as well. So some of these guys starting to try to figure out, and just trying to learn, learn where you need to put your car, what works best, what pushes the best, when do I need to push, at what point of the track do I need to get on them, when does my car overheat, all that good stuff. Like, there's so many thoughts going through your head. People say, though, this is easy racing. It is physically, and especially on sim racing, very, very not physical. But mentally, you kind of go through the same things that some of the guys in real life do. The fear of, wrecking and hurting yourself may not be there, but the same thought process happened. Okay, when can I push? Do I push here? How hard can I push? All that's like you're thinking constantly. If you're good at this racing, you're constantly thinking of, okay, what do I need to do? I need to try this. Where can I push him? All that stuff. Like you're calculating that as you go around these turns.
Well, you kind of get a little bit of a tunnel vision too, especially as the laps tick on. The first few laps too, you got that excitement going, and then it kind of wears off after a while. And then it, in a way, it almost kind of gets a little mundane. But you're still kind of on that nerve level, like okay, where's the guys behind me? Who's behind me? Who's in front of me? Where's my other teammate? Is there a way I can maybe do something to where I could get another teammate lined up? Especially I'm looking at Nate Biggert right now, who's been doing a great job just kind of staying with Kyle and Colton, and the 3 of them just I'm not going to say you can stick a paper in between them, but they've been running very tight throughout the beginning of this race, and I think that's a big key to success around here. It just keeps the cars, it just keeps that slipstream moving and keeps these cars just moving forward and fast. And then you look at the inside line, and I'm looking at Jeff Chandler, and he's kind of holding back a little bit off of Sherwood. And I think if the three of them on the inside would tighten up a little bit, I think that's when you start seeing the runs on the inside start coming through.
And it's funny too, because it all depends on where you're running in the pack. That's the thing. If you're up front, you're thinking, okay, I'm in good position. I thought we might have had something there in a minute. You're in good position for the stage, so you're kind of riding around trying things, but you're not really overly worried about things. If you're riding in the back, that clock is ticking. You're thinking, okay, we're getting closer and closer and closer to the stage. As you see, 3 wide. Oh. They saved 67 was really low there. James Wallace was low on the high side. And I think Justin Dilts tried to go to the outside, and there wasn't quite a lane there.
Yeah, I saw that, and it didn't actually even really hurt the top side too much. Like I said, the top three were, they were pretty tight. Then you had Josh Johnson behind them on that outside line, and even though they lost, James Wallace for not even a half a lap, it didn't really hurt them at all.
Yeah, we're still seeing that top line. I think Dorwell's right. That top line looks like where you want to be right now. Of course, these guys down here could be saving something a little bit too. It just depends. I know. I can tell you from experience, Sherwood Williford is a heck of a pusher. I like getting out there with him on the super speedways because he can dish it out. He can take it too. We kind of pushed each other around a good bit in some of the practices, and it's for whatever reason he seems like a very stable car to push. Like he's going to be where you expect him to be. No surprises. You see the 57 get a little close to the wall. No surprises. Very consistent. Easy to kind of guess where to be at to push him. So it's he's really good at this stuff.
Oh yeah, I can attest to that too, especially with Sherwood. He just he's always strong and steady, and he knows his plate racing for sure. And I know he 19. Loves. Yeah, I know how much he loves these tracks too. So he usually has a lot of fun out here. So and he's good at it. He knows what he's doing. And I'm just looking too. That inside line. You got a Fury, you got a Grassi racing, you got another Fury, and then you got a Grassi racing. I mean, I'm just wondering, if there could be a push out. Do we see one of these cars, maybe get into that outside line, or the teammate of cars to bounce up to that outside line to start making something happen.
Well, at the top line, you got two teammate cars leading the top lane. Then you got a single car, which is actually, I think he's working with some of our guys. And then you got, I believe, is that
Josh Johnson?
Okay, it's two Boomerang cars, and then Justin Dilton, another elevated car on the high side. So a little bit of teamwork at play there, I guess. But really, at this point, you're just kind of pushing whoever's there.
Oh yeah, I mean, especially too. We got almost about 5 laps to go before we got our stage, or no?
Yeah.
Wouldn't stage? Yeah, 25.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got about 5 more laps for stage. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe we might see some of these, Boomerang guys. Maybe make that 3 wide happen. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know how content they are, but everybody's looking pretty good, clean and green. Like I say, nobody's lost draft yet either. So the guys in the back, they're just still kind of chilling in the back, doing their thing. And I'm looking to see if anybody's made any major gains since the start of this race, but not really.
Well, I know people watching this are probably like, "Oh, this is boring." Well, you know what? They're keeping their cars clean, and that's the thing too. I knew coming in that this was going to happen. These guys, everybody out here, and everybody in this league knows how to take care of their car. We preach and preach and preach every week about save your car, save it to the end, and race for it at the end. And these guys do a magnificent job of that because they're taking care of their cars. They're not, as you see, Sherwood Williford jump to the high side. He's going to take that chance you were talking about. Gets a push.
Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Good. I was waiting to see everybody maybe put him in the sucker hole there, but Kyle bumped up to him, but now you got 2 Fury guys on the inside. All right, what are they going to be able to do?
Yeah, they got to regain their momentum because they lost their Corey lost his pusher there, and now here comes the 42 and the 10 to the bottom to retake the lead, go around that 1 car, and everybody's starting to get a little antsy at this point now because we're coming to the stage. But to finish my thought, what I was saying is these guys do an excellent job of. You see the. All right, there you go. You're starting to see the shuffling that happen.
Oh, we got a spin.
Oh no! Our pole sitter Sherwood Williford. Several cars involved. Guess I shouldn't have opened my mouth, huh?
Yeah,
I was trying to get it out before it happened.
It looked like the elevated, Colton and Kyle, they were trying to maybe work their way back to the top side after they were trying to come around Sherwood. Sherwood just had nowhere to go, so he kind of unfortunately put Colton in the sucker hole. And, I don't know if there just was a lack of space or just maybe they didn't see how much room they had around them, but it didn't work out.
Some big players involved here. Sherwood Williford, a pole sitter. Nathan Biggert, who's taken his, I think he's going to be in there for a while. Has had that toe. Colton Gum in that. That's who else in that?
I got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, we're going to go back and watch it. Let's see if I can pull up the replay here.
Apparently, it looks like they're going to call this the stage.
And this will be the stage break. Here you go. A little contact between the 1 and the 10 coming into the travel. And then the 1 comes down on whoever was on the inside there. They made it 3 wide, 4 wide. Contact there, and then he comes down. Is that Nate? That was Nate Biggert right there. Was it not?
Nate Bigger. I see Nate Bigger. He's upside down and on fire.
Let's see if we can ride. We ride. It sounds like it's entertaining. There's the contact with the 1 and down and then back up. And yes, you're right. He goes for quite the ride on top of the, I think, the 67 car.
I'm trying to go through right now and just count to see how many cars weren't involved in that because it looks like we had easily half the field. I'm definitely over 10 cars, at least involved with some sort of contact.
Smoke. The Diltz machine, the 91 of Justin Diltz, cannot squeeze through. You're right. There's a lot of cars with a lot of damage.
Now, it's definitely going to shake things up, though, too. I mean, I guess we're going to see how resilient some of these cars are. And, it doesn't look like, we had too many guys. Obviously, the guys out in front look to be pretty clean. That's Kyle Milliken, Richie Coy. I'm trying to see if Jeff Chandler even was involved in that at all. He may have been out far enough to where it didn't hurt him at all.
It happened. Oh, he did get a little damage on the right front, looks like, but he did get through it. But one more time from the Williford machine.
Yeah, Wayne Grassi looked pretty clean. Dave Nestor looks clean from what I could see.
And it just piled up in there. Man, that's a shame. Again, I was just getting ready to say how clean these guys were, but, we were coming down to the stage. These guys started pushing it, and they ended up 4 wide. Let's see if I can slow this down.
Let's see who else. Michael Blackner got through it okay. He was able to, that's one of those things that looked like Jamie Knopp, too. He kind of made the right move where he...
Riding in the back,
went to the back, and I think he may have saved him. Even though he was in the thick of it, he made he got a little front nose damage. Then he did actually tap the wall, and I think he may have got clobbered afterwards. But
man, what a wreck!
Yeah, I'm still going through it. There's quite a bit going on, but hopefully everybody's still got some wheels under them and at least enough to finish this.
All right, well, we made our pit stop.
Yeah, let's see. We've got, I'm looking right now. We got Justin Diltz still on pit road. We got James Torrey on pit road. We got Ben Tracy, Brian Dublé on pit road. Jamie Knopp's on pit road. Nathan Biggert's on pit road. And Sherwood Williford's still on pit road. But I'm trying to think what the actual, I don't remember what the fuel mileage is, but what do they've got? They got about 70 laps to go. Yeah, they should
Can
have enough
you,
gas for at least one.
is the pace car, are they doubled up?
I don't see them doubled up yet, no.
All right, they are side by side. I just didn't know if they were doubled up or not.
Yeah, lights are still on. So
Lights are okay. Lights are still on. That's what I need to know. We're going to go ahead and close that stage program so we don't have the same issue we had before, because it would happen once again.
Oh yeah, good call.
So James Tory stayed out the lead lap, and now everybody's kind of regrouped and back where they were supposed to be. Looks like involved in the wreck was James Wallace, Joshua John. I don't know if I could name all these. Jeff Chandler was involved. Daniel Simmons, Jamie Knopf, Brian Dublé, Justin Diltz, Sherwood Williford, Colton Gum, Nathan Biggert. I mean, it's basically half the field.
Yeah, we definitely had more than 10 cars and involved, and I'm counting who's on track right now. We've got, it doesn't look like everybody got knocked out, because there's definitely at least 14, 15 cars still on track right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah. They're still rolling. Some of them are on pit lane getting damage fixed. Some of them are...
nobody looks like a modified yet either, so that's always a good sign.
Yeah, I mean, there may be some, but they're not on track. They're going to be taking that to the garage. But, well, that's, again, you talking about changing the complexion of the race. Now you've got less energy in the field. That changes everything. It changes how much of a run you're going to get, how many passes you can make, how long you can wait to make passes to the end. It also changes the mentality of, okay, is this going to go green to the end? Because if it goes green to the end, we have green flag pit stops. Like you were talking about, the fuel mileage matters. I think that everybody should be able to make it on one stop from here. But your mind says, like, okay, we're probably going to have a green flag race to the end, so we're probably going to have to make green flag stops. Go ahead and get that in your mind. Turn your tires off. Get ready to make those pit stops. Playing with your teammates, trying to make sure you got somebody to pit with. All that stuff. And all that could go out the window when we get another caution, but you always try to plan that.
Yeah, it's definitely not going to be a fuel mileage race unless, there is a caution towards that final edge of your fuel run. And then, but that doesn't really happen too much around these plate tracks much anymore. So it just, especially too with these little fields, with the smaller field now, who do you come in with? That's the bigger question, and when do you come in? Do you want to be, you want to be the first cars in? Do you want to be the last cars out? It's kind of one of those deals where this is where the strategy, and this is where you put on your chess hat, and you start trying to figure out how to play this game.
Chess hat?
Well, yeah, because,
is there a
Tony
chess
Stewart,
hat?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I wear hats now, and I used to play chess, so maybe.
Look at all the cars lined up. There's only 4 cars lined up on the outside lane, so it tells me there's only 8 to 10 cars without damage, apparently. There's only 4 cars. Everybody else has come in the last lap to fuel up or to fix damage, but we're getting ready to get into the restart zone. Racing to the end here. Green flag's out, and we're back underway here at Talladega for the Talladega 250.
Yeah, and I'm looking now. We kind of had, like you say, that outside line. But you got Richie Coy out there on the outside line. I wonder if he's enjoying being out there now. He just basically was kind of on the bottom row the whole time, and let's see if he can actually get somewhere with that outside run.
If he knew he only had 3 cars behind him, I bet you he's not having fun out there. I bet he comes down to the bottom when we get to the end of the backstretch, if he gets a run. But now he pulls away from, that's Dave Nestor on the outside. They got to regroup, and now the 7 of Wayne Grossi pushes Kyle Milliken out to the lead.
Yeah, well, Wayne's a good, we were saying earlier, too. And, we got Jeff Chandler coming up to the outside line. So now we got Jeff Chandler leading that outside row. Now, could Richie give him that push, and maybe we could see a little bit of the Fury push action going on that, that the elevated guys of Kyle Milliken and Colton Gum were doing a little bit earlier. They got a little work to do right now, but I wonder if they could get it.
Yeah, teammates working there on the outside. Wayne right on the back bumper of the 42, pushing him way out there. The top 4 cleared the side-by-side now. So those guys doing a great job out front. I know Wayne, like you said, is a great pusher. He can really get on you and give you a good push. We need the 42 machine of Cal Milton's going to be quick, so that's going to be a duo right there. We're going to have to kind of watch. Ryan Hedrick up to third. Did a great job of missing that wreck, and now he finds himself in third position.
I know with his teammate behind him, too, with Brian Dublé, I'm kind of surprised that those two haven't tried to dart it on the outside yet either. I mean, they've got enough clearance to get something going, but, I don't know. Maybe they're just kind of holding their own right now. They see this inside line moving along, and they're just kind of sticking with it.
Yeah, Dublé's actually a lap down right in there in that third spot on the inside, so we'll see if Dublé does anything. You see the 31 Chandler and Richie Coy, that seems like they're going the wrong way here.
Yeah, I don't know if they got the numbers on that outside right now. Just, and it's that third place car. I don't know if Dave Nestor is just kind of tucking up to that bumper of Richie right, like he needs to be, because that's kind of what seemed like was a success on this earlier run. You just got to stay in line, stay in that groove, keep that spacing up between you. And it's really not necessarily always a 2-car deal. It's a 3-car deal. And, you look at the inside lane now, too. You got Ryan Hedrick. He is just, he's making that third car work. And, they're just staying in line, staying straight. And it's just, it's working. I know Kyle's probably not complaining right now.
So here's the way I look at super speedway racing. You got a 3-car deal. So the lead car is all about being smooth and pointing and being predictable, smooth, pointing the car down to the bottom of the track, fastest way around. The car behind it, the pusher car, is all about pushing, all about giving the right pushes, staying close, being able to push down the straightaways. That's your job. You're the engine. The third car, to me, especially in these next-gen cars, is the fuel car. Basically, what you want to do is get close enough to the car in front of you that's running in second, give them enough fuel to get to the back bumper of the leader, and just be there and give them enough support so they can get to the bumper of the lead car and keep pushing them. It's so choreographed. It's so funny. I mean, we've done it for years, and you kind of figure these things out as you go.
And it's almost like an unspoken choreograph. It's like, a lot of times we don't talk about it, especially when we're in the car, but, it's kind of one of those things where we all kind of instinctively know it, though, as well. And, there is a very fine balance, especially, too, when you're, to me, that second car is always the hard spot, though.
It is.
One where you don't know, you don't want to get bumped by the guy behind you, but and you don't want to push the guy in front of you too hard. But
so you're trying to push, and you have to let off when you get to the corner. Usually, you want to let off, but the guy behind you has to know you're going to let off, and how much you're going to let off is let you slow down. You don't want to get bumped by him. You don't want to push the other guy in the corner. Like you're the meat in the sandwich. So it is the hardest position to be in.
Yeah, and I'm looking at that outside line too. It looked like Dave Nestor got a little bit out of line, and it really slowed that outside line out completely. Completely stalled them out. Almost to the point where it's like it's almost going to be a single file right here.
There is no outside line. All that's left is the Fury guys, is Richie Coy and Jeff Chandler out there by themselves. That's it. Everybody else is stuck to the bottom.
Yeah, that is definitely what the Fury guys did not want to see. But hey, we still got quite a bit of racing to go, and anything can happen here. But it looks like they're getting a little bit of help with their teammate Michael Blackner. So we got a Fury outside run right now, and let's see what kind of speed the Fury guys. I mean, I know, just with us, we've been able to make some stuff out there work, and let's see if the Fury guys will be able to do the same. I mean, you guys are all by yourself out there, so let's see what you guys got.
I'll tell you what they got. They got a ticket to the back of the train. That's what they got.
Yeah, it doesn't look promising, but I think is that James Corey that's with them now? Somebody helped them out.
Yeah, let's see if they can do anything. Right now, though, Kyle Milton leading the way, looking like the truck race once again. Wayne Grossi in second, Ryan Hedrick running third in the 47. Then you have the lap car of Brian Dublé. Behind them is Daniel Simmons in the 06. Rounding out your top five is going to be the 54 of Alan Crowell up there in the fifth spot. Good run for him.
Yeah, we haven't talked about him at all yet, but yeah, he obviously didn't get too much damage during that wreck, and he's holding pretty strong. And I keep forgetting he's fifth because Brian Dublé is a lap down. So even though he looks like he's in fourth, he's actually a lap down.
Let's see, somebody, Alan Crowell. Was there a car between Alan and?
I'm showing the 6 of Daniel Simmons right now, but and I don't know if Daniel's even a lap
No,
down or not.
right in front of Kroll is a yellow car. That's Jamie Knopf. He's a lap down as well.
Okay, yeah. I might have got my cars mixed up.
I'm
Although
so
I am
confused.
seeing everybody in the right paint jobs this week.
Yeah, it's Jamie Knopf up there. He's a lap down as well, so a couple lap cars mixed in there to the lead pack. I'm sure that Daniel Simmons is happy to see that, though, because that's going to be a little help for him. Pseudo teammates.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's always nice to have a teammate, even if they're a lap down. If they still keep pace, at least you're not going to get kind of like outdogged by your own teammate at the end of the race. So it is kind of a nice fuzzy feeling when you still got a teammate, but he's not really fighting you for position. There is a little comfort there.
You see the 57 get a little out of shape there down the backstretch. Hangs on to it. Mostly an inside lane. You're right. Fury guys only on the outside, and they are actually starting to make some ground up, surprisingly.
Yeah, well, it took a little while for Michael to kind of get that momentum with the 3 of them going, and obviously the 3 of them know what they're doing out there, and they're holding it tight and right, and they're just making that outside line work. Now let's see if they get any company. It looks like they are starting to get a couple more people on the top row. If they can all, catch up and get that outside line rolling, we might have an actual race here.
Yeah, they're up to battling beside up to 4th spot for Jeff Chandler. So, we might have a little bit of a race here. I know these guys up front probably just riding around anyway. Like I said, if we go green, we have another green flag pit stop, so there's really no rush. I mean, it's going to shake up when we do that as well. But now we got a few more guys up top. Now we got a 5-car train up top.
Yeah, and the top side, all they got to do is just kind of keep it straight, keep it in line, act like a snake, and just kind of stay in one nice tire tracks of the guy in front of you, and hold it as tight as you can, and you guys will get up there. I mean, there is a little bit of side draft too, but to me, the side draft almost seems like it breaks up the field, or at least breaks up the line too much. Not everybody's into the side draft motion. It could actually hurt you guys more than it helps.
You see Wayne Grassi right on the back bumper, pushing hard on that 42, wiggling out and back. I mean, listen, these cars move around a lot with this air, going in, trying to push, trying to stay on the car and everything. If you don't get that just right, you'll start going left to right. And you don't want to do that, because that can end your night.
Well, not only that, yeah. I mean, you break away too much from the leader, then then you're holding up the line behind you, and then you got to worry about that 3rd car. Did he see that? Is he going to stay off your bumper as well? Is he going to complicate it, or is he being a good third car in line? And right now, Ryan Hedrick looks pretty solid as that 3rd car. So they're still making headway, and they're still keeping themselves out front.
57 laps to go, 37 in the book here at Talladega Superspeedway, the Talladega 250 for the Full Throttle Sim Racing Mach-1 Performance Cup Series. Round 11 of 13. We only 2 races left, Tony. It's coming down to it for the season. I know Nathan's the points leader, but he's out. He's gone. This is a good opportunity for some of these guys to get some points here tonight.
Yeah, and it doesn't even look like he's he might get a. I don't even know where he's sitting right now as far as 20th. The standings go. 20th.
Oh, so, no, yeah. 20th. Yeah, 20th.
19th right now. I'm showing him. Him and Sherwood and Justin Diltz are all. Oh, and Colton Gum. They're all 15 laps down. So I mean, will we see one of these guys just kind of bounce back in to get some points?
That's if they can get the car fixed in time. Might have to put a new engine, front clip, suspension. Got a lot of.
Yeah.
Some of these guys look like they got some pretty good damage.
Well, Nathan's the only one out there that's actually he's still on the track, or at least he hasn't disconnected from the server yet. So if there is one person we might see a little bit later on, it'll be Nathan. And if nothing else, he'll be able to get a couple extra laps. Maybe even get past James Wallace, who is also disconnected at this point.
It's such a shame to see Sherwood get taken out there. I don't know. With taken out, I don't know. He turned across the Bouse. I think of Nathan there. Those guys got together. Man, he had a good run going. He had the pole. Was looking strong out there. Needed a good run, man. But yeah, he's not going to get it tonight. That's unfortunate. Same with James Wallace. He was up front, up towards the front. Jamie Knopf was riding around in the back. I don't know how he got a lap down. Thought he missed it, but anyways,
he did get a little tap at the end. I believe I saw him go into the wall, and then I think another car kind of plowed into him. So I don't know if he just had too much damage, and he just decided to stay out there for another lap, or yeah, I don't know. I would have been worried, to have fixed all the damage and go a lap down, especially with the littler numbers. The chance of another caution is kind of nil, especially with kind of how everybody's running right now. So it's one of those. Again, these are crapshoot races, and there's only so much. Sometimes the dice roll in your favor, and it's good, and sometimes they're not with you.
I was gonna say it goes to show you're not safe anywhere at Talladega. You riding back, riding the front. I mean, Sherwood was running towards the front when all that happened, so it happened in the front and collected a lot of cars, and even riding the back, sometimes you're not safe, even with the stage caution. So unfortunate, but
yep. I've been in the front a few times and have destroyed myself doing it. And yeah, it can happen anytime, anywhere, any place. It really doesn't matter.
We also have flubbed the pit stop as well. Quite a few different ways. We got one of those coming up too. That could really throw a wrench in everything. You get kind of spread out. It just depends on how fast your pit stop, pit entry, pit exit. Talk about how technical it is to get on pit road fast, have a good stop, stopping your box correctly, not speed, not make a mistake, and then if you're on old tires, staying on the apron through 1 and 2, making sure you don't drift up the track or spin out, and then you hope to come out with a group of cars so you can get back up to speed quickly. Just like that is a process that I think a lot of people don't really think about.
Right. That is probably one of the most calculated moves of the entire race is especially pitting with the team, and I'm looking at the Fury guys right now. They're on the outside, so at some point they're going to have to work their way to the inside, and then usually we always have our little inner office meeting where it's like, okay, one guy goes high, one guy goes low, one guy stays in the middle, so that way we all got clear braking zones.
Exactly.
But then we don't know if 30 other cars are going with us. I mean, obviously we're not going to have 30 other cars going in the pits this time around, but you don't know. And it's one of those, do you call even your pit stop? You say, hey, I'm coming in for a pit. You trying to go pit early, or do you pit late? And, then God forbid one of your teammates speeds or they don't catch up right away, and you just don't get that run getting back up to speed. There's, that is obviously it's the most calculating, but to me, it's kind of the most fun. I think a lot of us have, when we get it right, it's just everybody's kind of got that grin on their face, and it's just it's a job well done, and you're all patting yourself on the back.
Yeah, that's if it goes good. Now we've had it.
We've had it go bad.
Yeah, I remember. I think we had one stop where I think somebody sped, somebody spun, somebody took tires and wasn't supposed to. It was pure disaster. I remember coming out and actually running in the back, or somebody ran in the back of somebody. One of the teammates trying to help. It's just like it can be chaotic. Oh, yeah. It really can.
It can be, and it's and that's kind of the fun of it though too. And it's the rarity. I mean, we come here 4 times a year, so you don't really always have that many opportunities to try it out, or at least to practice it. And it's like you could do it during practice sessions, but it doesn't count until it's race time. And there's always that one little thing that one car can mess with, and it's either, can you make it or break it? And when you do it together as a team, like I say, it's probably one of the most rewarding things you can do, especially on these plate tracks. And, it does kind of make it a lot of fun.
When it works out, it is really rewarding.
It is.
And now we are all single file. We have a parade behind the 42. All this happening behind Kyle Milliken, though, continuing to lead. Wayne Grossi in second, being content to push right now. And just looking at the team breakdown, you got Elevated Esports, you got Wayne Grossi Racing, you got Boomerang, then you've got Daniel Simmons and his team, and he's got Ben Tracy 2 cars behind him. You got Alan Kroll up there with Elevated, so he's with Kyle. You got Nick Dugan, who is actually up there with Ben Tracy. Those guys will work together. And you got the 36 of Dave Nestor, who's now Elevated as well. So you got some teams in there, but nobody's lined up. Like, if they duck off, they're going to leave a gap.
Right. Yeah, I mean, we got teams that are definitely scattered around. The only team that's actually still together is the Fury guys. They're all everybody's on the inside line now. I mean, there's only one lane. It's basically just a big train. And it looks like though the Fury guys, they're at least in the right mindset where they're on the inside line. They're going to get ready to come in for pit stops. And Doyle's saying that you don't want to pit too early. And I would agree with that to a certain extent because sometimes that pit early strategy does work, and you can ask me how I know. But it just sometimes it works. It's just you gotta everybody's got to be on the same page and everybody's got to do it the way it's supposed to be done. And you never know. It's one of those things where you don't want to go. You're right though. You don't want to go too early. But being sometimes the first guys in the pit stop, there's an advantage to that.
On down the backstretch I go once again. 46 laps in the book. We're getting close to halfway here. And yeah, we got to be. I don't know what lap they think they're going to come, but everybody's making that calculation right now, trying to think. Okay, when do I come? Who do I come with? Who's coming with me? Leave enough gap. Be in the right lane. Don't speed. Don't spin. Don't like it's. All this stuff you're telling yourself as you come down here. And you see the top three kind of gap the rest of the pack right now.
Yeah, well, the three of them, they just been, they've been doing what we've been talking about. They've been kind of staying in line, following each other's tracks, holding a nice tight line between each other, and I don't think any of them's got any damage either. So at least they have clean cars, and yeah, they kind of made a slight breakaway through the field though, and I know Brian Dublé, he's in the fourth spot right now, even though he's not in fourth. I know he did have a little bit of damage. His car does look clean right now, but I don't know if maybe he's just, maybe he's starting to struggle a little bit with the car.
Looking at these top three, I'm just kind of thinking through their situations as far as from the point standings. Wayne Grossi has a win this year, so he's set for the playoffs when we start him up. But a win here could be big for Kyle Milliken. It won't be his first Cup win. He's won here. Not here. He's won at Indianapolis. Won in his first start at Indy, which was pretty wild. So that was his first Cup start, and he got his win. But then you got Ryan Hedrick. Imagine what a win would do for him, for that team. You get him into the playoffs. It'd set him up in really good position. That'd be huge for that team and that organization.
Oh yeah, big time. I know he's been struggling as of late, and it's really good to see him out here and just holding strong in third right now, and he's looking good and looking fast, and to me that second, third car spot, that's the place you want to be, especially towards the end of the race. Usually Kyle is not in the best spot. I mean, he's leading right now, but towards the end of the race, that's not necessarily where you want to be. Although it does work out, but 9 out of 10 times it doesn't work out for that lead car.
Well, you're in control, so if anything happens, you're going to get the lead if a caution comes out. But yeah, you're right. I mean, a lot of people can gang up on you there towards the end.
Well, especially too with everybody single file, there's a lot of places for everybody else to go. So it's one of those, you could definitely hang somebody out, especially late in the run and with 1 or 2 laps to go.
Oh, hang on board here. Right on board with the 47 machine. Ryan Hedrick, that DraftKings Chevrolet. Doing a good job, man. Just hanging out. Knows there's a long way to go. Just kind of doing what he needs to do to kind of keep that 7 close to the 42. But don't necessarily need to push the 7 or anything. Just be close enough to where when they come off the corner, the 7 has the energy to get to the 42 to give them a nice push. And you're just going to be pulled right along with them and keep that speed and not have to worry about watching your mirrors.
Yeah, well, the nice thing about this car, too, is you don't have to worry too much about the car overheating. Sometimes in the trucks or even like Xfinity cars, you'd always almost have to duck out for a little bit of air, especially, too, when we actually were able to set how much tape we could put on the front of the nose. These cars don't have any tape, so it's not like, you're going to have any overheating issues. So you almost can really just ride that bumper as much as you can, and you don't have to worry about the car overheating. But yeah, that's what Wayne's doing. He's basically, I don't think I've seen him really move off of Kyle's bumper at all. He's been holding that thing nice and tidy and nice and straight, just following those tire tracks. And, both of them. Nobody's been getting on the apron. I mean, the 2 of them just been running a really good strong race right now, especially leading this pack.
I'm going to try to give them credit once again and hope that they don't prove me wrong or wreck or something. But the patience that you have to show here at this point, it'd be so easy, especially right behind somebody. It's like, oh, I'm faster than them. I need to make this pass. You know, everybody seems to, sometimes you run out of patience. These guys up front are doing a really good job of showing patience. We kind of have a breakaway now of the top
yeah, there is
7
There's
cars.
Huge. Yeah, we got 6
cars.
cars in the first group, and it looks like there's 7 cars in the second group. But yeah, there's definitely a split, and yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened. I don't know if somebody got loose and just broke that train a little bit, but yeah, that's not going to be good for that second group.
Alan Kroll is leading the second group. So yeah, I don't know how they got split apart there, and this is where you start keying up the mic and say, okay, guys, we need to get in line, need to push, need to catch back up, because now you're losing time.
Yeah, especially too as strong as that front pack has been, and even all the way up to Jamie Knopp right now. That 6-car front run. I mean, they're staying in line and just looking good and clean, and everybody's kind of got a nice spacing in between each other. So
the second group hadn't figured it out, because now they're side by side. That's going to be tough. I tell you, if I'm these guys at this point, I'm kidding, Mike. Go ahead and make your pit stop. You're losing time at this point. Go ahead and get your pit stop out of the way, and try to regroup, come out single file, and try to make the time up that you're losing now.
Yeah, I don't know if now is actually probably the best time for the pit. I know Doyle's been talking about it, and I think you might be right. The pit, or at least the pit windows for these guys is about 30, maybe 30 to 40 laps, something like that. And it really depends too on how much you're, pushing it out front. I mean, obviously the guy that's probably using the most fuel right now is Kyle Milligan being out front. But yeah, it's one of those things where you don't want to go too early. Obviously, you don't want to make it a 2-stop run. But
Dole said something about maybe saving fuel back here, so I wonder if some of that's going on back here. I don't know that. I don't think you would want to give up as much time as they gave up to try to save. I mean, I guess.
Yeah, well, I don't think the second pack he might have meant just some of the guys running, third, fourth, fifth
riding line. Yeah, that makes sense. You can save
and
a lot of
honestly.
fuel.
Yeah, and you don't really have to, because you obviously, at that point, you can't full throttle it anyway. You're kind of just babying throttle anyway, and, you're just kind of along for the ride. Just, you just want to keep that pace.
Coming off turn 4.
Yeah, but 54. I could see some of these guys. Yeah, 54, I could see them going maybe at least another 5 to 10 laps before we start seeing some pit stops.
What, 23? 33, 43, 53, 30 laps.
Yeah, 60,
33 laps.
60 should be about halfway as far as when the stage actually fell. So that would be about midpoint of the run.
And these guys are all strung up back here. This is not looking good for these guys. I mean, there's 4 or 5 together. There's 6 up front, and there's a pack of I think 4.
Right, yeah, we actually almost have like 3 packs now, right now.
And then, I'm sorry, a pack of 5. So 6 and then 5, and then some stragglers back here.
Yeah, and there is a possibility that some of these cars back there maybe finally have some little damage, and it's one, especially too when you're in a big line, when you're in this line like this, one little bobble by one car, I mean, it could just easily separate you. You gotta work together again and try and catch back up. Now, does everybody know how to work together properly? And then, if you don't think the guy in front's doing the job, you're going to make a move to kind of get out of the way. But I'm looking at we got Richie Coy and Jeff Chandler leading that second pack right now, and we know the two of them could get it done. Do they got enough? And actually, Michael Blackner's behind them as well. So can the Fury team catch back up to this main pack before they pit?
I don't think so. I don't think before they pit. They're going to have to make some time on pit road if they can. I don't know. Like I said, you got a group of 6 cars up front. That's going to be tough to beat with what they got? 5 in their group. So I don't know.
Yeah, they got 5 cars in the group. I mean, they're 5 decent, strong cars, though. I mean, you got the Fury guys, you got Josh Johnson, and then you got Ben Tracy in that 5th group.
That's what I was going to say too. Sometimes fewer cars actually helps because it's more organized. It's a little easier to manage the pushes and stuff like that too. I mean, it's a possibility. They could be in it by the end of this. They're going to have to work hard to make that time up, but they could definitely do it.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately, though, I am watching the time, and they are slowly kind of getting walked away by that lead group. I mean, that lead group is, they got their stuff, they got their shit organized, and they're pulling away. Again, though, with pit stops coming, anything can happen. I mean, one of these guys in front speed, you just get a bad start. Do you take tires? Do you not take tires? And I guess we're going to find out here in a few laps.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Seeing what these guys do on pit road, what they do for pit strategy, who's coming with them, who's not, how well they're communicating with each other. So you got this group of 6 now that are all different teams at this point, but now you've got to work together. If you want to settle this between you guys, you got to work together. You got to have a plan. You got to, you got to stick to it, or else these other guys are going to eat you up. As they come around, they're going to stay out one more time here, completing lap 80. I'm sorry, lap.
Yeah,
get ahead of myself.
I was going to say, I thought the race had been going by pretty quick, but I didn't think it wasn't going that quick.
Lap 58, 59 now on the board.
Yeah, I'm just kind of watching too. I'm still just kind of keeping an eye on the timer. That second pack, they're losing very little at this point. I mean, they're kind of almost at equal paces, but they still are at a 5-second deficit.
5.2 seconds is what I'm seeing. 5.2 seconds back now. 5.3 to that second pack, led by Jeff Chandler, Richie Coy, Michael Blackner, Joshua Johnson, and Ben Tracy in that group. But right now, Kyle Milliken continues to lead the way over the 7 of Wayne Grossi, Ryan Hedrick, Daniel Simmons, your top 4.
Now, I'm just thinking, too, Kyle's probably just, grinning ear to ear. Just, he already got his, he got his punch clock, or he punched the clock on Wednesday, got his win. Can he sweep Dega? I mean, that's a hell of a feat to do if you could sweep Dega. I mean, that's just, but, Kyle's good dude, good driver, and he's showing everybody right now.
I think we just had another Tonyism, did we? Got his punch clocked.
Something like that.
Something, I don't know.
I'm just getting over the thing, so it could be be anything.
Could be the thing. But you're right. Going back to Kyle, that's the thing, man. If you can sweep a Dega weekend, it's a great feeling. It's tough to do too. I mean,
it's not easy. It's not easy at all. It's hard enough just to get the win, but yeah, if you could sweep it, that's a good pat on your back.
And Daniel Simmons up there as well, just kind of riding around. Daniel looking for a win. He's been known here lately as Mr. Second Place. He seems like he's finished second at a lot of these races. Always in contention. Just something always seems to happen. We've talked to him a good bit. He could swoop in here and maybe take this win too, because he does have the 48 of Jamie Knopf right there with him as well. And they can. I tell you, one guy that's dropped off has been Tracy. All right, we're coming down to pit road. We're making pit stops.
Yeah, I've been hearing a bunch of guys on the squawk box, and they're kind of making that their motions to get down pit road.
All right, let's see how they do.
It almost looks like the entire field went down all at the same time.
They did. The second group came in as well. We'll see if they can make up any time. Looks like the 57 was in deep there. He's having to back up.
It's like Michael Blackner had a little problem getting on pit road there.
See, coming off pit road. That's going to be Ryan Hedrick coming out front. All those groups, Ryan Hedrick, Kyle Milliken, Daniel Simmons, Wayne Grossi. And here comes Jeff Chandler. And this is where you got to get organized real quick here, especially if you're that second group. Organize real quick and try to make up some time. I tell you, Ryan Hedrick come out way ahead of Kyle Milliken, but Kyle and the 37 are going to get together. The 06 of Daniel Simmons, Wayne Grossi, Jamie Knopf, all these guys have to get a little organized.
Well, that might be the thing that hurts that front pack because not everybody being teammates, not everybody knows the different pit strategies. So did guys take tires? Didn't they take tires? And then once eventually everybody starts winding each other back up or start gaining on each other, and who's going to be left out? Who's going around somebody to get them clear? So it's going to be kind of interesting here to see how this thing plays out.
You got Kyle Milk and the 06 and the 37 all right there together. Group of 3. Oh, we got some people coming off pit road here.
Yeah, and I'm looking at, Ryan Hedrick right now is kind of showing as our leader, but we've got, it looks like he's just going to get passed right away by that 3-car train.
Right, now he needs to latch on. And that group that just came off pit road is going to come out in between Richie Coy and Jeff Chandler, the duo back there, so...
We had a little bit of shakeups in that, but Kyle Milken's back to the front of the pack right now, and the guy behind him is Brian Dublé, and Brian Dublay's not even fighting him for position. And then you got, and I believe that's Daniel Simmons right behind him in second place right now. So
yes, it is. And I think you're going to see the top 6 or 7 kind of get back together here. And as a matter of fact, looks like Ben Tracy and Nick Dugan have went a lap down in this whole process.
Well, I know Michael Blackner and Ben Tracy kind of had a little bit of pit road contact, and it looked like Michael Blackner ended up missing his pit because of it, and so that kind of probably hurt both of them. That's the one thing too with these green flag pit stops, especially at this plate track, you lose even a half a tenth on pit road, and you could completely lose all a draft, and you're completely kind of out of contention. It could definitely screw up your game.
Trying to look for that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at the top 6 right now. We have basically, there's 3 cars that are on the lead lap, running 1, 2, 3, and then the other 3 cars are a lap down. So that top 6, I mean, we've been in that position ourselves where, it's just as long as the thing stays green, you're almost guaranteed a top 3.
Listen, I once pushed a lap car around the track for the last several laps at a Daytona win. I know all about that. You want to use everything you got out there. Sometimes you just sometimes you find your friends in some odd places. But yeah, I come out of pit road and I was by myself, but I got teamed up with a lap car, and it kept the group from behind me running me down, just pushing the lap car. So you take your help when you can get it.
Yep. For sure, and it's one of those things too, if you're the lap down car, you're just kind of out there and, maybe you can help out your teammate, maybe try to at least, up his top 3 position. Like I say, I only can see right now, we got Brian Dublé and Ryan Hedrick right now. Those are the only two teammates in that top group, in that top pack.
That's true. And the thing is too, if I'm Ryan Hedrick, I tell Brian Dublé, we were already having this conversation. Listen, I can push you. And I can push you by the leader, and it doesn't really matter. As far as positioning goes, I can use you to get by the leader, and you can, you can lead, and we'll just stay in line, and I can maybe use your draft and get this lead here.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure there's some inter-office talking going on between the two of them, and let's see. I know Ryan would love to, get a victory out of this. That'd probably be his first, I believe, in the league as well. So.
You want to combine those 2 words, inter-office and discourse? just throwing that out there. I don't know why. Anyway, all right. Back to the race. 67 laps complete of 94, and we got a breakaway of 6 cars here, a couple of lap cars, and actually about 3 lap cars and 3 lead lap cars.
Yeah, I'm kind of going back in the field too because we got a 2-car pack.
Actually,
it looks like it's Wayne Grassi with someone else.
Yeah,
Wayne right now.
Wayne's got 2 cars, and then behind him is Richie Coy and Jeff Chandler. Who's Wayne with?
Oh, Wayne is with Jamie Knott right now.
Okay.
But then we're looking, we got Richie and Jeff Chandler right now, kind of catching the 2 of them. So we're going to actually have a 4-car, stack up here. Now, can that 4-car pack, can they,
No,
Get up there.
no, they cannot.
It's tough. Yeah, I mean,
you want me to answer? I don't see that happening. Especially they're going to try to get by them here. Of course, they think they're a little bit faster right now, so they're going to try to make the pass. But even if they get lined up, the 6 cars up front, that energy is just going to be tough to overcome. Now, if a caution comes out, all bets are off. But
right, yeah, game on.
But right now, it looks like it's between Kyle Milliken, Daniel Simmons, and Ryan Hedrick up front. And Hedrick is, like you said, is the only one with help up there.
Well, and then the bad news just gets worse. Jamie Knopp just pulled down into the pits right now. And so, yeah, Richie, Jeff Chandler, and Wayne Grossi, it's just they got the 3 of them to try and catch that pack of 6. They got an 8-second deficit they're going to have to catch. And, yeah, I kind of agree with you. I don't know if that's going to happen. They really need a caution. But with the amount of cars that are still left on the track, I just don't see it happening.
Yeah, 26 laps to go. Everybody's kind of spread out. Everybody's kind of in their group as they have them now. So my question to you, Tony, is if you're in the front group, what car do you want to be? What moves can you make here with 6 cars in the pack?
Well, I guess it depends if I got a teammate or not. I know Kyle's probably the one more worried than anybody, just because they know he could be hung out at any point in time. And really, if 3 of those cars go in the outside groove, he's going to the back. But it's too early to be doing that now. So yeah, I don't know. It's a tough spot to be in, because you got a top 3, but it's like, where in the top 3 are you going to eventually be?
And again, we still have 25 laps to go. That's a long time here at Talladega, especially when you're just riding around in a pack like this. So anything can happen, but I'm sure these guys are trying to formulate some sort of a plan. At least if I'm the 47, I'm talking to the 37 saying, okay, this is, when I pull up, I need you to pull up, and do something, make some sort of a run at it, because it's going to be tough to pass regardless, because some of these guys may pull down and help the 42. The 37 won't, but the 06, I don't know what he'll do. And then you got 2 lap cars, which actually will help the 06. The 12 and the 35 are lap down, and they'll actually be helping the 06. So this actually could get kind of interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, with Brian Dublé, where the position he's in, basically just pushing Kyle right now, he could basically just stop pushing him, and kind of screw Kyle up. I mean, Brian's got a lot more power than he probably realizes he has right now.
Let's see, Richie Coy, 6.7 seconds back. We'll keep an eye on that. I don't know if they're making up any time.
I'm watching. They're barely making up. I mean, they have gone down to they're down to 6 seconds now. So I mean, they are making a little bit of time on them.
And if these guys up front start racing around, racing a little bit, they will gain more too. So you just can't listen. I said they're not going to catch them, but you can't give up. I mean, anything could happen. These guys up here could wreck. So that could change things as well. Now, if Michael Blackner gets in here and he gets on the back of this pack, it's going to make it even harder for them to catch. So the more cars that they lap and the more cars that latch on to this lead pack car, the harder that's even going to get.
Well, you notice though that top 6, they're not as straight, tight as they've been. They're all kind of spaced out a little bit. It looks like Ryan Hedrick even just kind of lost pack of the top 3 cars there. And I mean, like you say though, you got Michael Blackner kind of coming in there. But is Michael Blackner not going to lay up a little bit and maybe give a little bit more hand to his teammates too? And I could definitely see that happening.
Look who's out there making a lap. They put the car back together. They pieced it back together. The 01 and Biggert's out there getting his points.
Well, and then there's another car that, I mean, he might not have enough speed.
He's off the pace, like big time. He won't help. He won't be helping anybody. He'll be hurting himself if he tries. But he's getting his points. So he's out there trying to get those few extra points.
Yeah, but if nothing else, he can even be like a draft pick. And it does look like Michael Blackner's kind of slowing down a little bit, maybe trying to get with his teammates to kind of help push. I mean, Michael shouldn't be damaged. I just know he's off pace because of the pit stop.
Richie and those guys have cut it down to a 5.7 second lead.
Yeah, they are slowly gaining on them. I mean, but you got Wayne there as well. So I mean, the three of them, the three of them know what they're doing out
Oh
there,
yeah.
and and they are working together now. Now, does the 6 car breakaway? Do they realize that they're getting eventually pulled on here? But I don't know. They're going to feel something soon.
Yeah, I don't really know. It looks like the 42 moved up the track a little bit there. I don't know that. I mean, at the rate they're going, they may catch them if they can't get organized to start bleeding this time off. That's interesting.
Well, they got Michael Blackner now to add to that pack. And again, yeah, I don't know if Nathan Biggert's got anything to help him out, but he's another car out there that maybe you might be able to pick up a draft and maybe help that line a little bit.
I think Blackner actually lost the draft as well, so he's fallen off those three. But those three are starting to make now. It's 4.8 seconds. I tell you what, I'm a little surprised that these 3 cars are starting to make time up on our leader.
Well, it just shows you their perseverance. They're just trying to get it done out there, trying to make something happen. Unfortunately, that's just kind of how it goes. And, they're moving it. They're getting it done. Do they have enough time? I mean, we got 20 more to go.
4.7 seconds that lap. Just kind of watching that interval. That's really interesting. Now, what are they going to do when they catch them? It's that old adage about a dog barking at a car. Okay, you can bark at it, chase a car, but when you catch it, what are you going to do with it?
Well, I'm looking at it now too. We got a 3-car almost. That first 6-car pack is almost split in 2 now.
Yeah, and if they fall back and give that second group a draft, I mean, it's going to help even more. So, yeah, I'm a little surprised that the 47 can't seem to keep up with the top 3.
Yeah, and I'm not really sure what's going on there. Because he's been running really good tonight, and just kind of was expecting a little bit more here towards the end.
I mean, it's not over by any means. It's only 4.6 that lap, so.
Yeah, but moves like that, though, is just allowing that backpack to just catch you guys even closer. I mean, maybe he wants to make it a little bit exciting for us, and we appreciate it, I guess.
Yeah, true. Milliken's still leading. I mean, just a dominant run at a super speedway for him tonight.
Just dominant week for him.
Yeah.
And it's just, hats off to him no matter how it happens. I mean, he's had a hell of a week, and, kudos to him.
Whatever they did, they kind of got their ducks in a row because Richie and those guys only gained a 10th that lap. So that won't be enough.
No, for sure. And it's just, maybe they did. Maybe they finally realized that, hey, we gotta get our shit together. This second pack is coming, but they are still looking pretty tight back there. I mean, they're still moving. It's just, I don't know. I don't know if they got enough legs now.
$17 laps to go here at Talladega Super Speedway, the FTSR Mach-1 Performance Cup Series presented by Full Throttle Television. Again, want to shout out Victory Fuel. And remember, go to drinkvictory.com. Use code FTSR for 10% off your order. Read their story too, man. They got an interesting story about how they came to be, why there is a Victory Fuel, all that good stuff. So great people too. All my interactions with them have been very positive. So appreciate them coming on board and being a sponsor of the Full Throttle Sim Racing League and the FTSR Mach-1 Performance Cup Series, as well as the Wednesday night FTSR SimRacingPoints.com Truck Series. I always enjoy. My favorite car on the service is the trucks, but that's just me.
Oh no, I'll agree with you too, and I think that the truck refreshes was definitely a positive step. Obviously, we don't talk about it because this is the Cup Series, but yeah, I would like to see whatever they did with the truck, maybe filter in some of these other, premier level oval racing cars they have.
And if you're enjoying the racing tonight, Definitely tune in on Wednesday nights. It's actually on LSR TV. You can check out their YouTube page, check out our truck series races. They're always entertaining, always fun, and have a great group of guys racing there and broadcasting the race as well. So just check them out on Wednesdays. If you're interested in joining up, check out our website, FTSR.net, and see how you can be a part of what you see on screen tonight for the FTSR Cup Series or Truck Series or anything else we got going on. Really, we always have something going on.
Yes, we absolutely do, and we're just a fun group of guys to hang out with. You know, I mean, even if we're not racing, we're doing something, and you know, it's just a great group of guys. A lot of fun. A lot of us are just more than friends more than competitors. And
you say,
you know,
we're more than friends?
We're more than friends than competitors. But anyway,
I don't know you that well.
I'm starting to look though too, and you know, the Fury guys, they really got to get their stuff going. The Fury Grassi threesome back there, they really need to.
Oh, wait a minute.
Step it up.
Wait a minute. You're talking about us being more than friends, and you want to throw in the word threesome? Really?
Well, it's not us.
Well, I'm sure Richie and Jeff and Wayne want to appreciate that, but you know, as well,
give them something to laugh about when they watch it over.
As they're trying to,
I may or may not be heavily medicated.
Yeah, well, after you have the thing,
the thing, yeah. But actually, I'm watching them now, and yeah, they made up about almost a half a second. They are down to under 4 seconds right now, and I don't know though. I don't know if they got enough time.
We'll do the math there, Math Whiz. We got 13 laps to go. How much time? How much do they need to make up a lap?
Oh, I'd say at least, you know, probably 4/10 a lap. You know, and it's not to say that it can't happen.
Well, when they get to racing here too, that's going to change things too. Whenever they decide to, but now they're really starting to 3.6, 3.5.
Yeah, I mean, you got to remember too. It's once they get within that 1 second buffer behind that lead pack. I mean, they're going to start catching them way quicker too. So
yeah.
So it's really not 3 seconds. It's really 2 seconds before the action really starts happening. There is a chance.
See how much pushing's going on back here. Let's see Jeff Chandler on the back of Richie. There's the push. There's the bump. Don't overheat the car.
Yeah, and that's just kind of what they got to do. And they just got to hold it tight, just keep pushing it. And Wayne's doing a hell of a job too back there, just trying to, you know, keep that train moving. I know Wayne would love to see himself get a little bit better than you know, 6th. I mean, we're looking at the 3 of them right now. That's 4, 5, and 6 right now.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody. So I mean, they could still improve. They are down to almost 3 seconds right now. So
they are. They're cutting it in. Like I said, it just depends on if these guys up front, if they start racing, it's going to be a big difference.
Well, we've seen them get separated a few times too, and that's really when you know, Richie, Jeff, and Wayne, you know, definitely make some moves on them. So another couple of separations like that, and yeah, you're gonna have a 9-car. You know, front pack.
It was 3 seconds, 2.9 now.
And that's under 2 for you and I, Clark, I guess.
Well,
like I say, once they get within that 1 second, once they get into that 1 second, it's, you know, game over.
Well,
I wouldn't say game over, but
yeah,
it ain't going to be a breakaway anymore.
They're going to be there, but what are you going to? That's what I was talking about. What are you going to do with it? Because at that point now you've caught them. If you take that around the outside and you stall out, then you know it is what it is. But at least you'll be there to battle for it, I guess.
Well, that's when you're going to start seeing them start going too wide. Yeah,
Two
you're going to start seeing these guys and then start fanning out with the 2 wide, and then, you know, that might be the caution, though, too.
Uh-oh. You know? The second and third there in line backed up off the leader.
Yeah, they bobbled up, and, man, Richie, Jeff, and Wayne, they are getting closer.
They made up a lot of time there, so we are going to have them. We're going to have them here.
They are within. They are almost within that 1 second right now.
1.7, yeah. That was a big loss down the front stretch. These guys are not organized at all at front now. All right, well, I take back what I said. I think I said they weren't going to catch them. Guess what? I was wrong.
Well, kudos to Jeff, Wayne, and Richie. They're doing a hell of a job, and they're making it spicy. And now we got some cars going too wide. This is going to be, this is it. We got a 9-car pile up now.
Oh, 9-car pile up?
Well, maybe not a pile up.
Not yet.
It's going to be a 9-car shakeup. Maybe that's maybe that was the word I was looking for.
8 laps to go.
Yeah, even though 3 of those cars aren't in it.
I think those cars wanted to get side, but they actually did get past the 47. So 47 is going to fall back in line. And now you have, and this is what I was watching, you have Ben Tracy, Nick Dugan, and Daniel Simmons, I think, lined up, and now they're going to go to the outside.
We might actually have some 3-wide action here right now.
There they go, 3 wide. Richie Coy to the outside. They're going to put, who's that in the sucker hole?
That looks like that may have been the Brian or the Dugan guy.
All right, it's
Nick Dugan. Yep. And we are 2 wide, and we got a race going, Brody.
We do. They're coming to 7 to go here at Talladega Superspeedway. 7 laps to go. That second pack we were talking about. There's 3 cars of Coy, Chandler, and Wayne Grossi have made it up here and made it to the front of this pack now, leading the outside line.
And I almost think Richie Coy's going to get the point on this time around.
I can't believe it. And that's what I was talking about. You cannot give up on that. You never know. And they made it back.
You can't give up. And then, even more importantly, too, that lead group, you guys can't sleep at all. You gotta make sure you're just, holding that line. As boring as tunnel vision as it might be, it's, it's every little tenth out there really matters.
And again, you got 37 of the 37 of Brian Dublé out there, and he's a lap car running in the second spot in line on the bottom line. He could play a factor here as well. And you see Richie Coy now, they're falling back on the outside.
It looked like Jeff gave him a little bit of a shove. I don't know if Richie enjoyed it a little bit too much. It definitely did hurt him a little bit, but hey, they're still in it. They're still in a better shape now than they were 10 laps ago.
He enjoyed it too much. Oh, you see the 31 wiggle. And 7's going to bail on that, go to the bottom.
Yeah, I know that's definitely not what Richie wanted to see, but and we already saw this play out too with the outside line just not having enough run.
All right, 5 laps to go. Who's got it? Who's in the catbird? Is Kyle Milken in the catbird seat? Daniel Simmons back there with help. Going to try to make a run?
I'm kind of waiting to see some of these guys maybe try to go on the outside, though. Try and get around Kyle. I mean, you're definitely just not going to give it to Kyle, right? But, maybe some of them are. I mean, Brian Dublay's probably like, I'm just fine sitting here. I'll push you to the win.
But why would you do that if you got a teammate back there in the pack with you? Like that would be an interesting, I guess, for us Tuesday morning meeting at the team if you help somebody else beat your teammate.
True, but Ryan's he's almost in the back of this pack right now, sadly. So I mean, what's Brian going to do? Does he get out of line and just hurt Kyle? I mean, Brian, like I say, he really doesn't. He doesn't know where he needs to be, and I mean, what do you do in that spot? You're better off just kind of staying where you don't want to mess anybody else up, though, either.
Yep, true. Here comes the outside line once again. Richie Coy leading out with Jeff Chandler pushing on the outside. Now they're starting to get some help out there. You got the 12. Okay, there goes Richie Coy to the bottom to take the lead. Jeff Chandler goes way high, and Nick Dugan's going to split both of them in the 12 and go through the middle with the 47.
Now, I'm sure Jeff didn't want to see Richie go down, but he probably doesn't blame him, though, either. At least just kind of take that point away from Kyle. And now we've got a huge shakeup. Even Brian Dublé kind of laid off of Kyle. And, you got Nick Dugan running third right now, and he's just trying to make that outside line work. And then we were just talking about Ryan Hendrick. He's almost close to his teammate again.
3 laps to go here at Talladega. Now, side by side, you're going to lose a lot of momentum. Is that going to hurt third on back, or are they going to catch right back up? These guys, they're going to catch right back up right here.
And it's almost, you almost got equal top and bottom lines right now with cars. So it's like, what's gonna work? Does Nick Dugan? I mean, I don't even know how many races he's been with us right now, but he might be able to win this one.
I don't think he's going to win it from a lap down. He is a lap car. So,
oh, he is. Okay, I'm sorry.
So he's going to have to. He's going to have to hit the boosters if he's going to win this one.
Yeah, okay, so he might not win, but
2
he's
laps
still showing good.
Yeah,
good showing though out there.
First race out with the Cup Series, by the way.
Oh, okay. Now, what does Kyle want to do? Kyle hasn't exactly been tailing anybody right now. So, I mean, he's just kind of – I'm sure he didn't want to see that lead spot get taken away from him.
Well,
but
what you don't want to see is the side-by-side to the outside as well, because it kind of blocks anything you can do on the bottom there. He's going to try to push Richie out here. We're coming to 1 lap to go. Can Kyle do anything? Can Richie hold on? Can the 47 push the 12 far enough out front to take this win? Wouldn't that be something?
Wow. I mean, from being behind the pack to basically, I think he's got the point that lap. And it looks like he might be trying to come down.
All right. So the 12 pulls in front of the 19. 47 up there by himself. The 19 is going to push the 12. Off turn 2. They make it so far so good.
That really killed that high line for Ryan, but yeah.
Now Richie, all he's got to do is push this 12 to the line. He don't even need to pass him. Oh, and he moves out of the way. Oh, that's going to shake things up. Here comes Kyle Milliken. Here comes Kyle Milliken to the outside of the 19 of Coy. Who's going to make it to the line first? Richie comes up the side draft, but it's going to be... Who's it going to be? Kyle Milliken taking the win at Talladega.
Wow.
And there's the wreck.
And I'm looking at the scoreboard. We may have to go back and check that out. But Kyle and Richie, it was 0.000.
See that.
That's what it's telling me.
Let's go back and see if we can see that finish.
That and Jeff Chandler coming in third. Good job, Fury boys. And Kyle gets the sweep this week.
Let's see. We're going to slow it down here. Coming to the line. Man, I need to go back and see if I can find a better. I don't know if I have a better angle. We're going to have to make one. But Kyle Milliken sweeping the races here at Talladega this week. Taking the truck win. He's going to take the win here again in the Cup car. Dominated the race, honestly. Deserved the win. Unfortunately, won't be able to do any burnouts because, well, he kind of got tore up there at the end of the race. I know what that feels like. I did the same thing in Atlanta. But we'll get to talk to these guys here shortly. Kyle Milliken winning. Coy second. Chandler third. Daniel Simmons fourth and Ryan Hedrick fifth. Let's look at our
that was inches.
Our race results, and then I'll pull that up in a minute. Kyle Milliken taking the win over nothing over Richie Coy. Jeff Chandler third. I tell you what, Richie's got a knack for finishing second in these close finishes, huh?
Yeah, he sure does, and wow! I mean, wait till you see it. It is they are nose to nose. I'm amazed the iRacing scoring could even score that close.
Chandler third. Daniel Simmons is fourth. The 47 of Hedrick in fifth. Wayne Grossi in sixth. James Torrey in seventh. Good run for James as well. Got it snuck in there. Joshua Johnson eighth. Dave Nestor in ninth. Alan Crowell in 10th. 11th is going to be Ben Tracy. 12th, Nick Dugan. 13th, Brian Dublé. 14th is Michael Blackner. 15th, Jamie Knopf. 16th, Nathan Biggert. 17th, James Wallace. 18th is going to be Justin Diltz. Sherwood Williford and that wreck early in the 19th, and 20th is the 10 of Colton Gum.
Yeah, Nathan Bigger did actually get a few spots back, coming back out. The points mean a lot to him, so he stayed out, got the car fixed. Good thing he had enough time and made a few extra spots out of it. But man, again, I'm looking at that finish, and I got a bumper on the line with Kyle, and there is a bumper on the line with Richie. It is. I've never seen a closer finish, to be quite honest.
All right, we're going to do something I usually don't do. I'm going to see if I can get a manual camera on that before we get our interviews.
Yeah, that was an exciting race. Especially with the little field. You don't know what's going to happen, and the Fury guys kind of working their way back up to the front. Making that second group run and catching that top group. Man, great race. Good job, guys. We only had the one caution as well, so unfortunately it was a pretty good one, but it was a great race by these guys. Really got it done, and hats off to everybody.
All right, we're going to do far chase here and see how close this is with the 19 of Coy, who gets a little bit of a side draft coming through the travel. Coming to the line, he's got the run. Kyle Milken goes way high up the track.
And I saw that too, and I'm surprised that he's still able to make that work.
Well, he had enough momentum and just barely beats the 19 of Coy to the line. That's crazy. And close for second as well, or third as well, between Jeff Chandler and Daniel Simmons. Kept it clean until right there. A wreck after the checkered flag. So let's see if we can start our post-race interviews. Well, we got everybody lined up here, so let's we'll start with our third place finisher, Mr. Jeff Chandler. Jeff Chandler, the 31 machine, finishes third tonight at Talladega. Jeff, what an interesting race. And man, did you guys have to work for it back there?
Man, did we ever. I was pushing as hard as I could push. I had damage, so whenever I got out ahead of Richie whenever we came out of the pits, and I told him, pass me because I'll hold us up. So I was in push mode the whole way.
Well, you guys did a great job back there. I kind of wrote you guys off, I'll be honest with you. I saw you back there 7 seconds back. I was like, yeah, there's only 3 of them. I just don't think that's going to happen because there were 6 up front. And I was like, okay, they're going to pull away. You guys worked your butt off with your pushing and was able to make up that time. And not only do that, pull up to the outside and come home second and third. So, again, awesome job there. But, kind of talk me through your race. From that wreck early on to the green flag pit stops and then the finish at the end, there's a lot to talk about.
There is, obviously I don't know exactly what happened in the first wreck, but we just kept after it, and just tried to, we were strategizing on our fuel when we wanted to pit. They were going to probably dictate that. We figured they would pit a little bit quicker than we were wanting to, but it just all worked out. But we just went. I started pushing and pushing. Richie pushed me, and finally, when we got up there to the very towards the very front, I told Richie, "You get in front. Don't worry about me. I'll figure it out. I'll finish wherever I finish, but at least you have a chance to win." I couldn't. I had like 20 seconds of damage. So it wasn't feasible for me to even try. So it was just cool to see a finish like that.
Yeah, it was a good points night for you as well. Tony, I'm sure you got something for it.
Well, yeah, we saw you chewing on Richie's bumper there for a while. So we were just, were you worried about any more damage that you were getting, or you just wanted to just keep that train moving? I mean, I know you had Wayne behind you too. So you guys were looking strong though.
Yeah, I was pushing and pushing until I saw red, and then I'd pull out until it cooled back down, and then I'd start pushing again. But I enjoyed the hell out of that. It was a blast.
It definitely was a lot of fun to watch, so I'll give you that.
He's pushing till he saw red. Well, I hope I hope you talk about the car and not anyway.
Hey, and that earlier wreck, that wasn't my fault with Sherwood.
No. Actually, I can confirm that you did not have anything to do with that.
I hated to see it, but it's kind of glad it wasn't me.
Yeah. Absolutely. I hate to see for sure what too, man. He had to pole and had to happen. It's unfortunate, but you did get a little right side damage, but come back to third place. Again, congratulations on that. I'm going to give you the mic and let you do your shout outs and your thanks and everything.
All right, appreciate it. Of course, I'm going to thank Doyle Lawrence, Graven Graphics. He's always, I would assume he's in the chat, but he just takes good care of me on my paints, and he supports me, and quite a friendship we had. Just love the guy to death. Definitely thanks to Victory Fuel and all the FTSR partners. Huge thanks to our series sponsor, Mach-1 Performance, and my teammates at Fury Motorsports, Brody, Richie, Michael, and Tony. I appreciate you guys a bunch. Love racing with you, and maybe we can turn this thing around and we all start getting some wins.
Absolutely, and yeah, I can confirm Doyle's in the chat. I always enjoy having Doyle on board. So yeah, thanks Doyle for keeping us awake as well. And Jeff, congratulations again on the third place finish.
Thank you much, guys. Appreciate it.
There's your third place finisher, Jeff Chandler. We'll jump into second place. Mr. Richie Coy bringing home a second place. Boy, I tell you what, that's like I told Jeff. I actually wrote you guys off when you're 7 seconds back. But man, you worked hard and you guys earned it tonight.
I wrote us off too. I have no idea how we got there. I don't know how 3 cars drafted up on all those cars, but I guess they weren't really working all that well together up there. Maybe, I don't know. We were all in line. Jeff was leading, and then he had some damage on that. He fixed on that pit stop, so we decided that I would have a better shot at leading us up, and we just kept eating at him, and then I smelled that draft, and it was on, man. What a finish! 0.000 for the finish.
That's what we were talking about it, man. It was a wild finish there, and I didn't think we were going to have one, to be honest with you. You guys went up there and made it interesting, but yeah, I don't know if you saw anything about. I think the wreck happened behind you there early in the race, but yeah. Man,
I don't know what happened, but it cleaned out like half the field, right?
Yes, it did. It was a big one, and it took about half the field out, unfortunately. But yeah, just kind of talk us through it. Like I said, there was a lot that happened in this race. You had the big one, you had green flag pit stops, and you guys had to work from 7 seconds back in a 3-car pack to catch 6 cars up front. Just kind of give me a summary of your night, I guess.
Well, we started out good. I led a bunch of laps, or maybe some laps, as me and Kyle were side by side, and then we got to the stage there, and then everybody got a little spicy on us, and we ended up losing. I don't know. We ended up losing the lead of the bottom draft there. The caution came out, and stage ended. I think we got second for the stage, so it wasn't too bad. But then we were the only ones up top. All of a sudden, nobody was helping us. We fell all the way to the back. Then we hooked up with one of our other teammates. We came back up to the front, then we went to the back again, and then all of a sudden the mid pack lost the draft. I have no idea what happened. We just all of a sudden were like 4 seconds behind the mid pack. I thought we were done. We pitted. We lost one of our teammates. Me and Jeff came out. We hunted Wayne down, and I got to props to Wayne. He stuck with us, and the 3 of us drove up, and yeah, it was a heck of a battle. Unfortunately, some lap cars got involved there, and I'm not too keen on lap cars being involved on the results of a finish, but I think we all made it through till after the line, so I guess that's okay.
Yeah, I'm going to pass it on Tony. Tony, I'm sure you've got some things to unpack there as well.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think the biggest question is, you were so close to getting a win. I mean, are you ever going to break the second place streak?
Apparently not tonight. I thought I had
closer than you ever were.
Well, I'm going to actually put it up for our viewers too. I'm going to pull it back up because that's what I was looking at. You continue talking. I'm going to pull up the start line.
Well, yeah, mine switched, and it told me, I got number 1, and I started, yelling because I'm like, yes, I won, and then it switched it back to Kyle, and I was like, agony to defeat.
Well, that's what I was actually going to ask you about, because I'm looking at this picture here, and actually, it might.
Well, Kyle goes up the track towards the very end, and you were making that run. I mean, did you even think that it was going to be that tight at the end?
Well, the last lap was a roller coaster, right? So I had Kyle behind me, and I knew that he wasn't going to work with me. But then we had the 12 and Ryan on the outside. And I said, I kept thinking, as long as they're still out there, I have a shot because I don't think Kyle's going to be able to move with them out there. But then the 12 cleared me going into one and came down in front of me. And I'm like, oh, come on. And then we went down the backstretch and me and him drafted down the backstretch and we pulled away. And I'm like, oh, this is awesome. We get to 3 and he moves up and out of the way and leaves me sitting there. And I'm
Well,
like,
yeah, we saw
oh,
that too, and we were wondering, we were even, I believe, Brody even said,
All you
yeah,
gotta
all
do
he's got to
is
do is just keep pushing the 12,
all
and,
you
and
gotta
you
do is
got
push
it.
him. Yeah, you ain't gotta beat
that
him.
was my
Just
plan.
push him.
And so he left me, and now I'm like, I'm a sitting duck. So then I came up. I tried to block Kyle, not block him, but take some air off him to keep me going, my momentum up. And then he got around me, and then I came down, and I saw all of them coming behind me, and I'm like, well, maybe they'll push me. So I side drafted Kyle down the first part of the straightaway, and then just turned through the tri-oval to get that run, and missed it by 0.0001.
I guess, but again, I pulled it up on the broadcast here, and our viewers can make up their own minds. But it looks like I don't know. I'm glad I don't have to make the call. I raced and decided that that's the way the finish was. So that's the way the finish is. But again, hey, regardless, congratulations, man! What a move to run back up, make 7 seconds up on that front pack, and come up just that short, second place. But a good points night, good finish, and it sounded like you guys had fun out there.
We did eventually. Yeah, it was kind of tedious, just kind of driving around with nobody doing anything. But yeah, once we caught back up, which I'm still in shock and awe over that one, but once we caught back up, it was kind of on because we caught back up with what 8 laps to go. So it was kind of like, all right, let's maneuver through. It was awesome. I can't thank Jeff enough. I can't thank Wayne enough. He was behind us all the way up until we got there. So can't thank the guys that we were racing up front there. It was pretty clean up until after the line. So that was awesome. I don't think we had a big wreck with that group right before the start finish line. So kudos to them. Thanks for Victory Fuel for being on board. Thanks to Fury Motorsports for us working together there. And, thank you guys for putting on the broadcast. Thank iRacing for apparently going out to 4 or 5 digits, bastards.
Oh, well, again, there's your second place finisher, Richie Coy, who's obviously very excited to finish second.
Again.
We'll see you, Richie.
Guys.
Oh, my goodness. And we'll see if we can bring in our winner here tonight, sweeping the Talladega week with the truck win. And now the cup win, Kyle Milliken in the number 42 for Elevated Esports. Kyle, congratulations, man. What a finish. What a race, I guess.
Yeah, that was a good one. I don't know what happened, but I didn't even get to make it back around. I got wiped out after the flag there. But yeah, it was a good race. It was fun running Richie and Jeff there early on. A little unfortunate the lap cars got up there in the mix. I thought they would kind of get out of it a few laps ago, but I think that really affected the race. But yeah, looks like I don't know if I've seen a closer finish than that. That was fun.
I was gonna say I'm glad I don't have to make this call. That's what I was saying. Wow, I got it pulled up on the broadcast, and man, what a close finish. I didn't think it was that close, but man, you just barely somehow nipped that at the line. Talk about, listen, you dominated pretty much the whole race, and then there at the end, here they come. Here comes, the guys up here. It's going to ruin my race. And you're able to get back around them and get the win, man. What was going through your head? I'm sure you saw Rich and those guys running you down towards the end there.
Yeah. After the pit stop, we got out with 7-8 seconds to the second pack, and I had a lap car behind me that was damaged, and he just couldn't stay in line, jacking the rear wheels off the ground on the straights and going on the apron and damn near turning me in the corners. And I was just watching that gap get smaller and smaller, and it's like, oh, they're going to be on us in a couple laps. And sure enough, they were towing another lap car up there with them. But yeah, it worked out in the end. Unfortunately, it looked like a big wreck early on in the race. It kind of spread the field out.
Yeah,
took out some good, including my teammates. Feel bad for Colton. He was good, pushed me in the early on in the first stage, then got kind of unsorted there, and I'm not really sure what happened. I haven't seen the replay, but I think there was a big wreck.
Yeah, Colton was doing a great job early on, really staying in line, helping you guys. You guys had that high line rolling too, doing a really good job out there. But Yeah, unfortunately, that big wreck kind of thinned the field a little bit. About half the cars it seemed like had damage. But anyway, I'm going to pass it to Tony. I'm sure Tony's got some things he wants to.
Well, yeah. First of all, congratulations. I mean, that's a hell of a week you've had. Especially after the truck race, and then you come here, and we didn't think you were going to have it there for a minute. And yeah, you had some of the lap cars behind you, but those lap cars kept you out in front for quite a bit of time too. So I mean, it's kind of a double-edged sword. I mean, but at the end of the day, I mean, we seen you go wide. Was there a reason why you did that? I mean, you were damn close to losing it.
I was trying to unwind the wheel, take some of the drag out of it, just hoping to nip him at the line there, and 0.000, I guess. So
I don't know if you've even seen it. I mean, you guys were.
I exited out.
I've still got it
you
up.
need a micrometer. I mean, honestly, it's
still got it
unreal.
Yeah, I've still got it because I can't believe how close. I don't know. I mean, I again, like I said, I'm glad I don't have to make that call. And actually, Rich even said it, gave it to him, and then gave it back to you. It was that close. I guess it couldn't make up their mind.
Yeah, it's definitely one of the closest finish I've ever seen, especially in iRacing. I probably even in real racing. But I don't know. Just the hats off to you again. Hell of a week. Great job. Dominant car, and I don't know what makes you do so good over at this Talladega. I mean, you do a lot of practice here, or you just kind of got a knack for it, or what's the deal?
This is one of the places a year or so ago I actually had time to test at, and worked on the setup. And luckily, the models stayed the same. There hasn't been any major updates to overhaul the car. So what's been working's been working, and I just hate we wait to the end of the regular season to get a win, but at least I didn't wait till the very last race this year.
Well, I was going to say that too. I mean, I know you've got a win at Indy before. I think was your first win. So a win here again in the Cup Series puts you in the playoffs. Yeah, you waited towards the end of the season, but now you can kind of rest for the next couple of weeks and get ready for the playoffs.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, Kyle, listen, again, congratulations. Awesome job. A dominating performance. It comes down to nothing here at the end to take home the win. I'm going to hand you the mic, though, and let you do your thanks, your sponsor plugs. The mic's all yours.
Yeah, thanks, Brody. Thank the league, FTSR, my team elevated, especially Colton tonight, pushing me up there early on, and then Gum Auto Center, Victory Fuel, and Martin Sports. Thanks, guys.
All right, there's your winner tonight, Kyle Milliken, doing the sweep at Talladega. Tony, we talked about how hard that was going to be to do, and, well, he pulled it off.
I mean,
barely.
Honestly, I mean, he was the one guy I thought it was going to be solid, to be quite honest. And with until 5 laps to go, that Richie, Jeff, Wayne, they all caught up. Game was on, and somehow Kyle still got it done at the end of the day. He sweeps the week. I mean, man, and with a 0.00000, how many zeros? Unreal. I mean, it's just awesome.
He finished in style for sure. What a finish. Was it worth staying up an hour and a half through our race, listen to us ramble on to see a finish like that? I hope so. I was entertained. And again, the guys ran up from behind the green flag pit stop, trying to make up 7 seconds. It had a little bit of everything. It even had the big wreck at the beginning. So very, very entertaining anyway, to say the least. And I hope we've kept you entertained. And I hope
it was a crapshoot.
Yeah, well, that's what you kept saying about this race at Talladega, and that's exactly what we got. But Kyle Milliken pulled it off, and that's going to do it for us. I hope you guys were entertained, and I hope you'll tune in for us with us next week as we do round 12. Where are we at next week? Are we Richmond? Yeah, we're Richmond next week, so we'll be at Richmond Raceway next Monday for the Mach-1 Performance Cup Series. Hope you'll tune in. But for Tony Solari and all the guys that help us do this, my name is Brody Hanna. Thanks for watching Full Throttle TV. And we'll see you next time, next Monday at 9 p.m.